O expert and thoughtful men, read the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures, emanated from the lips of Srila Shukadev Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Purport. In the previous two shlokas, it's been definitely proved that the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge. In this shloka, it is stated that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is not only a superior literature, but is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. Considering all this, patient and submissive hearing is definitely essential. With great respect and attention, one should receive the message and lessons imparted by the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The Vedas are compared to the desired tree because they contain all things knowable by man. They deal with mundane necessities as well as spiritual realization. The Vedas contain regulated principles of knowledge covering social, political, religious, economic, military, medicinal, chemical, physical, and metaphysical subject matter, and all that may be necessary to keep the body and soul together. Above and beyond all this are specific directions for spiritual realization. Regulated knowledge involves the gradual raising of the living entity to the spiritual platform, and the highest spiritual realization is knowledge that the personality of God is the reservoir of all spiritual tastes, or rasas. Every living entity, beginning from the firstborn living being within the material world down to the insignificant ant, desires to relish some sort of taste derived from sense perceptions. These sensual pleasures are technically called rasas. Such rasas are of different varieties in the revealed scriptures. The following 12 varieties of rasas are enumerated. 1. Raudra, anger. 2. Adbhuta, wonder. 3. Shringara, conjugal love. 4. Hasya, comedy. 5. Vira, chivalry. 6. Daya, mercy. 7. Dasha, servitorship. 8. Sakya, fraternity. 9. Bhayanaka, horror. 10. Bibaksha, shock. 11. Shanta, neutrality. And 12. Vatsalya, parenthood. The sum of all these rasas is technically called affection or love. Primarily, such signs of love are manifested in adoration, service, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. And when these 5 are absent, love is present indirectly in anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, fear, shock, and so on. For example, when a man is in love with a woman, the rasa is called conjugal love, but when such a love affairs are disturbed, there may be wonder, anger, shock, or even horror. Wow, Krishna. Sometimes love affairs between two persons culminate in ghastly murder scenes. Such rasa are displayed between man and between animal and animal. There's no possibility of an exchange of rasa between a man and an animal, between a man and any other species of living beings within the material world. The rasas are exchanged between members of the same species, but as far as the spirit souls are concerned, they are one qualitatively with the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the rasas were originally exchanged between the spiritual living being and the spiritual whole, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual exchange of rasa is fully exhibited in spiritual existence between living beings and the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Personality of God is therefore described in the Shruti mantras, Vedic hymns, as the fountainhead of all rasas. When one associates with the Supreme Lord and exchanges one's constitutional rasa with the Lord, then the living being is actually happy. These Shruti mantras indicate that every living being has its constitutional position, which is endowed with a particular type of rasa to be exchanged with the personality of Godhead. In the liberated condition only, this primary rasa is experienced in full. In the material existence, the rasa experienced in the perverted form, which is temporary. And thus, the rasas of the material world are exhibited in the material form of raudra, anger, and so on. Therefore, One who attains full knowledge of these different rasas, which are the basic principles of activities, can understand the false representations of the original rasas which reflected the material world. The learned scholar seeks to relish the real rasa in the spiritual form. At the beginning, he desires to become one with the Supreme. Thus, less intelligent transcendentalists cannot go beyond this conception of becoming one with the Spirit's whole without knowledge of the different rasas. In this shloka, it is definitely stated that spiritual rasa, which is relished even in the liberated stage, can be experienced in the literature of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam due to its being the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. By submissively hearing this transcendental literature, one can attain the full pleasure of his heart's desire, but one must be very careful to hear the message from the right source. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is exactly received from the right source. It was brought by Narada Muni from the spiritual world and given to his disciple Srila Vyasadeva. The latter in turn delivered the message to his son, Srila Shukadeva Goswami, and Srila Shukadeva Goswami delivered the message to Maharaj Parikshit during the 7 days before the king's death. Srila Shukadeva Goswami was a liberated soul from his very birth. He was liberated even in the womb of his mother, and he did not undergo any sort of spiritual training after his birth. At birth, one is known as qualified, neither in the mundane nor in the spiritual sense, but Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who was being perfectly liberated soul, did not have to undergo an evolutionary process of spiritual realization. Yet, despite his being a completely liberated person, situated in the transcendental position above the three material modes, he was attracted to this transcendental rasa of the Supreme Personality of God. He was adored by liberated souls who sing Vedic hymns. The Supreme Lord's pastimes are more attractive to liberated souls than to mundane people. He is a necessity not impersonal because it is only possible to carry on transcendental rasa with a person. In the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are narrated, and the narration is systematically depicted by Srila Shukadeva Goswami. Thus, the subject matter is appealing to all classes of persons, including those who seek liberation to relish the mellow becoming one with the Supreme Whole. In Sanskrit, the parrot is also known as shuka. When a ripened fruit is cut with the red beaks of such birds, its sweet flavor is enhanced. The Vedic fruit, which is mature and ripe in knowledge, is spoken through the lips of Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who is compared to the parrot, not for his ability to recite the Bhagavatam exactly as he heard it from his learned father, but for his ability to present the work in a manner that would appeal to all classes of men. The subject matter is so presented through the lips of Srila Shukadeva Goswami that any sincere listener who hears submissively can at once relish transcendental tastes, which are distinct from the perverted tastes of the material world. The ripened fruit is not dropped all of a sudden from the highest planet of Krishna Loka. Rather, it has come down carefully through the chain of the cyclic succession without change or disturbance. Foolish persons who are not in the transcendental cyclic succession commit great blunders by trying to understand the highest transcendental rasa known as the rasa dance without following the footsteps of Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who presents this fruit very carefully by stages of transcendental realization. One should be intelligent enough to know the position of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam by considering personalities like Shukadeva Goswami, who deals with the subject so carefully. The process of the cyclic succession of the Bhagavat school suggests that in the future also for all time Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is being understood from a person who is factually representative of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. Professional man who makes a business about reciting the Bhagavatam illegally is certainly not a representative of Shukadeva Goswami. Such a man's business is only to earn his livelihood. Therefore, one should refrain from hearing the lectures of such professional men. Such men usually go to the most confidential part of the literature without undergoing the gradual process of understanding this grave subject. They usually plunge in the subject matter of the rasa dance, which is misunderstood by the foolish class of men. Some of them take this to be immoral, while others try to cover it up by their own stupid interpretations. They have no desire to follow the footsteps of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. One should conclude, therefore, that the serious student of the rasa should receive the message of Bhagavatam in the chain of the cyclic succession from Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who describes the Bhagavatam from its very beginning and not whimsically to satisfy the mundaner who has very little knowledge in transcendental science. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is so carefully presented that a sincere soul and serious person can at once enjoy the ripened food of Vedic knowledge simply by drinking the nectarian juice through the mouth of Shukadeva the mouth of Śrīdhām Goswami or his bona fide representative. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatam Badakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shab Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Ladita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shah Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svamiriti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatnya Deshatarine. So, how much we are blessed today? We cannot even begin to understand or to estimate the unlimited extent of our blessings by Srila Śrīdhām Goswami and his representative, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Sri Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. There are so many things stated in this purport. We could give classes for a month on this verse. I was just noting here in the final paragraph how it's quite amazing, actually. As Prabhupada is saying, one can at once, sincere and serious persons, how many here are sincere and serious? Anybody sincere and serious? Or just here like a whim? How many of you are sincere and serious about relishing this nectarian rasa, this nectarian juice of Bhagavatam? How many are serious? Or just here on a whim? Now, if you're actually sincere and serious, then what does Prabhupada can at once relish? As they say in Spanish, immediatamente. Can immediately relish the ripened fruit. Simply by drinking the nectarian juice through the mouth of Śrīdhām Goswami or his bona fide representative. So the bona fide representative means that person who is purely presenting without addition or subtraction. So actually we can at once relish the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge. There's so many fruits. There's mangoes, there's grapes, there's peaches, there's strawberries and blueberries, there's lychee, pears and apples and cantaloupes and papaya. There's so many types of fruits. But here we have the supreme fruit. This is the supreme fruit, you see. The ripened fruit of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So we have to understand what is the process of relishing this nectarian juice. What is the actual science, what is the actual system of relishing this nectarian juice. And this verse gives us this purport and verse gives us some amazing, amazing insights on how we can relish this nectarian juice. Would you like to relish some nectarian juice? Or not? Well, if it's understood in the improper way, guess what? Poison. If you hear the professional men are trying to make some money after reciting Rasa Lila, then it's poison. So you have to hear from the proper source and be in the proper mood. Submissively hearing is the statement of our beloved founder Acharya and Lord Shri Krishna. Submissively hearing is it. What does submissive hearing mean? What does it means? It's not taking one ear and out the other ear. Yes. but you take it in both ears, deep, deep, deep within the heart. You see. Even the speaker is also hearing. We're all hearing today. I'm also hearing. You see. But am I hearing myself speak? Not really. I'm hearing the acharyas, what they're teaching. This is coming through my mouth, that's all. If I invent something new, drag me off this chair. You rascal, get off the chair. You're concocting something new. Sometimes they want to concoct something new. Well, Prabhupada said this, but we say that. They want to invent a new version of Prabhupada's teachings. Don't spoil it, my dear devotees. Don't spoil Prabhupada's teachings by your own additions and subtractions. Keep these teachings as they are, because by so doing, you can relish the nectarian juice emanating from the lips of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. And the interesting thing about it is, this is one of the interesting points, just as Shukadeva Goswami is called parrot, not because he repeats, like a parrot, but because the parrot enhances the flavor of the mango fruit by touching it with his beak. So what really amazes me, my dear devotees, is there's so many parrots down the line, the shuka and the representative shuka. Each shuka, or representative shuka, it becomes more, each level becomes enhanced, more enhanced, most enhanced, enhanced, all the way down the line becomes more and more enhanced. Can you imagine? It becomes more and more and more, sweeter and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. That is the mystery of the succession. The more it comes down, it becomes sweeter and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. Sweet, more sweet, most sweet, most sweet, most sweet, most, ad infinitum, sweet. You see. So tune in, turn on, and bliss out, as we always say. Take this message seriously, deep, deep, deep within your heart. It'll root out all the lust, the anger, the greed, the malice, illusion, envy. So many people write me, Gurudev, I got this problem with lust, with anger, blah, 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 blah. I get all these emails. How to get out of it. It's very simple. You just got to cram your heart full with all this nectar, and the mind, there's no room for the anarthas anymore, you see. If you stuff the anarthas into your heart, all the nectarian juice, the holy names, the pastimes, everything, it's all there. Somebody asked Prabhupada, it's offensive to think about Krishna's pastimes when chanting is the Prabhupada said it's offensive not to think of his pastimes. Because actually it's there. When you chant Hare Krishna, you think Krishna's name is just his name only? No. Krishna means everything. Every limb of Krishna contains the full-fledged functions of all the other limbs. Even every tip of his hair is manifesting all the universes. Everything about Krishna is absolute. Absolutely absolute. Absolutely absolute. Absolutely absolute, you see. That means his name contains all in the two syllables, Krishna, all of his pastimes are there, all of his qualities are there, all of his names are there, all of his Radharani is there, Vishaka, Lalita, Sudama, they're all there. Nanda, Jasoda, Rohini, all of them. Even the king Bahulashva is there. The king of Mithila province, even here is there. Amazing pastime. That king was there having the darshan of Krishna, and he was astounded. Oh, now I will offer 100 times, he said. He was so enlivened by Krishna's song. 100 times I'll offer one. I'm going to offer 100 obeisance. He got down for the first obeisance. He couldn't get up. He was so overwhelmed with ecstasy, bowing down to Krishna. He couldn't even get up for the 99 more he decided to give. This is the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. You actually enter into this rasa called, what's it called? Krishna consciousness. Or they call it bhakti rasa also. You actually enter into this rasa of Krishna consciousness, and you become totally absorbed in it. It's like drowning in the ocean of nectar, you see. There's nothing left. There's nothing else to enjoy. Everything else is just spit at it, you see. There's nothing else left there's nothing else to enjoy. Even the post of Brahmaji is not attractive, you see. even if I could be a Brahma, have my whole universe under my control, under my power, even that is absolutely spit at it. You see. When you actually relish the taste of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let's see, what's our time limit? It's almost 9. What's our cutoff time? What's our cutoff time? We have, it's our cutoff time. Midnight?
When you need to go to next classes?
10 o'clock, so we got to take breakfast. We maybe should cut it pretty soon. But let's see if any questions came on let's just go from our internet crew.
You ask locally first, then go on.
The local yokels are first, okay. Locals, you're first, yes.
What it takes to become serious?
Well, do you seriously desire to become serious?
Yes.
All right, then you're already on the right track. You're on the right track. Next.
Gurudev, we hear from you that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is sweeter than the sweetest. Mm-hmm. And we also hear glorification that it's like honey in the jar and we need to open the bottle to taste it.
The ultimate gulab jamun.
Yes. But how, for me, how to actually understand it and put into practice?
Do you desire to relish it? Do you desire to relish Bhagavatam? Do you desire to relish it or not?
Yes, Gurudev.
Do you desire to relish Bhagavatam?
Yes, Gurudev.
All right, then you're on the right track. That desire to relish Bhagavatam, Krishna, if you desire to relish Bhagavatam, Krishna will see, oh, this sadhu-bhusana, he wants to relish Bhagavatam, let me help him do that. You see? The key is desire, you see. The key is desire to relish Bhagavatam, and then Krishna will say, oh, he's serious. Let me help him. He desires to relish Bhagavatam. See, once you relish Bhagavatam, who needs the other things? Who needs illicit sex? Who needs intoxication, meeting, and gambling? Once you get a higher taste, these other things can't even attract you. When Cupid shoots his arrows, they just bounce off. You see, they can never. Krishna has a Cupid, as a Cupid-proof armor on the heart. Even Cupid throws his arrows, just bounce right off, you see. So if you have that desire to relish this taste, Krishna will reciprocate with you, and he'll teach you, he'll relish you, he'll bless you that you can actually relish the sweet, sweet, sweet. What is that verse? Madaram, madaram, aparvasha vibhor, madarang, madarang, badanang, madaram, midugadi, say Midugani mad smidasmitamitam maho madhuram madhuram madhur madhuram. The transcendental body of Krishna is very sweet, and his face is sweeter still, but his soft honey-scented smile is the ultimate sweetness thrill. So we just have to learn how to experience that sweetness of Krishna, you see, by desiring it. You see, we can desire sex or money, or followers, we can desire those things. But intelligent brothers say, no, thank you. I don't want to eat stool and urine. I want to have the sweet nectar of Krishna consciousness. You see? So if you have that realization, and you have that desire, even though the material desires may be there, say, okay, material desires, you can just wait a minute. I'm going to try this desire. I'm going to try this instead of that. And you beg Krishna, my dear Lord, please let me fully relish the nectar of your name. Let me relish devotional service. Please, Krishna, please me. I've been drowning for millions of lifetimes, running after stool and urine. Please, at least for one lifetime, my Lord, please. So you start begging. You have to be a good beggar, Just like we saw Rajkar Sir was a very good beggar in Austin that he would be caught in the traffic. He went begging car to car to car to car. Please let us go ahead. They let us go ahead because he was begging. Remember that day? They're begging. It's amazing. It's an amazing day. We went. This way went to the airport. This way went, and he made the wrong turn. He went this way, and there was a big construction going up. The whole freeway was blocked, complete cut off, and everybody was waiting turns to go to one off ramp to a traffic light. And there was hundreds of cars, and you only like 5 or 6 at a time would go up, maybe 10. And so they were on the shoulder trying to get down, driving on the shoulder. And there was no way we had devotees to get to the airport on time. There's no way we'd ever make it. But he got out of the car and begging car to car, can we go ahead? And they let him, by his begging, you see. So you got to be a good beggar. You have to be a good beggar. Krishna, please bless me. Please, I beg you, my Lord, please bless me. I can get out of this Maya and become your pure devotee. Please, Krishna, please. You have to plead with Krishna. Like somebody pleading before the firing squad, begging, please don't shoot me, please don't shoot me, begging, please don't shoot me. So you got to beg like that, intensely beg Krishna, you see. And the magic happens. You get this amazing taste comes coming through. Amazing taste, you see. Now, let's take the onliners. I'm becoming more mentally stable, though I might be able to receive my formulation of your person. Well, we'll see what Krishna arranges. May Krishna bless you in this endeavor. Okay, next one. Do I have the, let's see, do I have the privilege of going back to Godhead one day when I leave my material body? If you desire it, Krishna will give it to you. Simply have that one desire, I must go back to Godhead, the magic will happen. Okay. What it means, patient hearing, and how to understand in terms of Vani instructions, submissive and patient and submissive hearing. Patient means you have to wait. You're not going to see Krishna face to face, eye to eye immediately. It may even take a few millions of lifetimes, but if you're willing to undergo whatever it takes to get to that position where I can directly wake up in the transcendental leelas of Krishna as one of his associates in my swarupa, if you're willing to wait, however long it takes, you see, then Krishna will reciprocate with them. Okay? I have been complacent in sadhana. Please enlighten me how I can be honest and sincere about it. You should always feel you're imperfect. Think, well, I'm pretty advanced now. I got my 16 rounds. I got my diction. I got second. Yeah, I'm really set now. I'm pretty perfect, y'all. Pretty perfect now. Prabhupada said the devotee should always feel imperfect, you see. If you think you're perfect, that's your imperfection. If you feel you're imperfect, now you're on the right track for perfection. So always feel I'm imperfect, I'm lacking in Krishna consciousness. Like Lord Chaitanya said, I have no attraction to these names. Even Lord Chaitanya prayed that way. What is our position? Okay, next. This is a long. I've been badly suffering from crookedness. Join the family. I'm extremely egotistical. Wow, just join the club. Welcome to the egotistical family. And I want everyone to talk about me. Yeah, see, we all, do you want to be appreciated? Does anybody here not want to be appreciated? Let's be honest about it. Oh, I want to be appreciated, y'all. I want to be appreciated. But here's the insider secret. The more you desire appreciation, the less you'll be appreciated. The more you appreciate others, then you become appreciated more and more and more. Find something about every single devotee you can appreciate, even your enemies. Find them you can appreciate about every one of them. And the more you can appreciate others, then you become more and more and more appreciated. A devotee appreciates a little ant. The pure devotee appreciates even a little ant on the floor. He appreciates that little ant. Can you imagine? Even a little ant is appreciated. You understand? Even a little ant is appreciated. Just see how dedicated he is to doing his duty. It's an ant, you see. Let's see what else we got. See, you have a higher status. There's such a long one, I got to go to the next one. Maybe I'll take the end of it. It's a huge, long, like a whole book practically. Everyone that there's a new problem, I experience a great deal of anxiety. Oh yeah, here's the latest thing I discovered. Ask somebody, what's the bad news? What's the latest bad news? The bad news is good news for a Vaishnava. Give me the bad news. Come on, let me hear the bad news. And when you're actually Krishna conscious, the bad news is good news, you see. So the point is, there's no such thing as bad news for a devotee, because he sees the wonderful, loving mercy of Krishna blessing me at every minute. Krishna's loving mercy is blessing me at every minute, even there's no such thing as bad. But I ask him, what's the bad news? What's the most horrible thing going on right now? Because that's actually the special blessing of Krishna. So even the bad news is good news. The thing how good the good news is. But actually there's no difference. Actually, a devotee finds the bad news, Kunti Devi found the bad news better than the good news. Because then you have to take complete shelter of Krishna. It's all good news, I'm God now. Don't have to worry about anything. Everything's sitting pretty, everything's going the way I want it to go. I'm God, I'm God, I'm God. But bad news means I have to realize I have no shelter except Radha and Krishna. Like Narottam prays, I've got no shelter but Radha and Krishna. Humbly praise Narottam Das Adhikari. Okay. See what we got here. While hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam many a times, initially the lessons are found sharp, cutting the false ego, jai, very good, which is painful, jai. What is it saying? No pain, no gain. Even I had some trouble, I got some little slight elbow in my hand, my sticking into the wheelchair at the Bridgeport airport. And the time doctor said, you got to squeeze hard and go like this very hard. He said, no pain, the more painful the better, he told me. The more you can, it hurts, the more you can make it painful, the better. He encouraged him to squeeze until it was very painful. He said, that's how you'll cure it. So that applies to everything. You understand the point? The more you can experience pain, that's actually a special mercy. The more you can take pain and difficulty upon yourself. It's like the pure devotee, his desire is to accept the pain of making the whole world Krishna conscious. Even if he has to take birth after birth to do so, he's willing to take that pain. You see, because actually, that he gets showered with unlimited mercy by doing that. Okay, let's see what else we got here. I've been having more pain in my left knee due to a sprain, but I'm still able to do my chanting. Well, that's good. Now we have... I've been chanting, I've been Śrīdhām Māyāpur for 3 years. Oh no, you forgot, Bhakti Allison, you had a fall down. You told me about that. This is not true, what you said. You had a fall down within the last 3 years, you told me about it. So you have to think carefully before you say something. Okay. Okay, anything else? Or we call it quits for now, or quits for now. Actually, we're never going to quit. The original Bhagavatam class was 100, we calculated it, let's see, 160, I think it was 168-hour Bhagavatam class. What is 1 hour? It's nothing. The original Bhagavatam class, 168 hours, 7 times 24. It's 100, any mathematicians here? My math was 168 hours, 7 times 24. 168-hour Bhagavatam class. So anyway, thank everybody for tuning in. Another message came in. Complacent in my sadhana. Well, complacency is your enemy. You have to realize I'm lacking Krishna consciousness. I'm burning the desire to get out of Maya. You should always feel you're in suffering. You're drowning in the ocean of Maya, and always begging, get out of it. If you need to be complacent, that means you think you're already realized. Oh my God, here's another huge one. I can't take these long messages. I'm sorry. Oh well, that was. I scrolled up, okay. Okay. How do I develop simplicity? Very important question. It's simple for the simple and difficult for the crooked, so we have to just feel ourselves very... See, the problem is we're very sophisticated. I have a degree, I've written a book, this and that and this and that. We have to always feel we're nowhere. I have no position whatsoever. I'm simply like a worm crawling in the stool, so Krishna, please save me. So anyway, we'll go ahead and end it here. Thank everybody for tuning in, and Hare Krishna.